How's it going, everybody? I am Donuts, and we are reacting to The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 12, Remember. I gotta say, I'm not that much of a fan of these episode titles recently. These, like, one-word episode titles. I don't know. Them, Distance, Remember. Meh. Kinda, meh. I still think what's happened, and what's going on is the best title that we've gotten in the entire series. The way that Tyrese delivers the line too is just cemented in my head. But yeah, this episode is Remember. I assume it might be might be Rick saying remember Terminus, remember Woodbury, remember all these other places that we've gone through, and keep that in the back of your mind during all this. As nice as it seems, keep in the back of your mind the possibility that it might not. I think that's maybe what he's saying. Or it could be, remember the times we used to have. Remember the good old days. Remember what it used to be like, and that's what it's like inside here, inside these walls. Probably the second, actually. If I'm going to bet on one, I'm going to bet on the second. Other than that, let's just get into this. As always, if you want to see the next episode already, you can go get it on Patreon, $4 for early access, or $8 for full length. It's picture-in-picture. You don't have to sync it up at all. I do it for you. No downloading the files on your end. Don't worry. I got you covered. So go get it. $8. That's all it is. All right. Let's get to the reaction. Okay. So, this episode. Boy. Wait, hold on. I did do the thing I was talking about, in which I made a list of everybody's jobs and everything like that. I'm gonna get to that at the end, though. Or I guess we could just start. Let's just start with that, honestly, because it's pretty short. So the ones we know of, we have Rick and Michonne as the sheriffs. Glenn, Noah, and Tara are scavengers. Carol is making food, which is probably going into the whole like self-care thing and all that. Like she probably is used to that kind of helping people out, a community vibe in general, right? Then we have that was all the ones that were given to us. I think Eugene is pretty obvious. He's gonna be a teacher, right? It could be more than that. He could be like their actual scientist. But I don't know how good a science is. He says he's really smart, but I don't know if that's just I'm very smart, or if he actually is smart. I mean, clearly he is smart, but I mean that level. He's definitely smarter than the average person, for sure. Not even by the average person, but just, well, at least everybody in the group. He's definitely smarter than all of them by a large margin. But I'm not sure if that would put him up to scientist tier. Anyway, it could be a thing of like, he is that smart, but all he could land was a teacher job because of blah, 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 blah. Which is totally acceptable. That's totally, that could be the case. I mean, like, as far as Eugene's character goes, I would buy that 100%. So, Abraham and Rosita. I am just guessing that they'll be training them on, like, guns and just, like, safety in general for, like, if anything goes wrong, a sort of, like, FUPAR scenario, training them for that. Otherwise, the only other thing I can think for Abraham is, like, construction. He's got a very construction worker build to him. I love that, aesthetic, so catch on to that pretty quickly. He definitely feels like a construction worker, like, just naturally. He's got that aesthetic. But I'm not sure what this is not a community that needs construction. It was actually very difficult trying to think of a lot of these jobs, because I was like, what does this place even need? So I guess I'm just going to go with training for both those. Gabriel, the priest, obviously. For Daryl, I feel like it's got to be something relating to kids. I feel like that's his thing. I wrote down, like, for his interview, like, the attributes I would get off him there to most describe him would be... Wait, where is my notes on that episode? Nervous, kind, hunter, loner. That's sort of what I think demonstrated in his audition. But I don't think they're going to go with something as simple as he's just going to be their hunter. It could be, but I think they're going to play up on the fact that, like, Daryl is a good mentor, especially in the apocalypse. Like, thinking back even as far as, like, the prison, when the kids would, like, come up to him and be like, thank you for hunting all this food for us, so mighty Daryl. But yeah, I think it could be something to the kids. So, teacher, maybe, but that's, like, I don't believe that. That was just me trying to come up with something. And it's a cop-out. Because for the actual teacher, I think it's, like, Eugene, obviously. But also, Carl? Now, hear me out. Carl. I'm thinking he could teach the kids how to survive in the outside world. Like, because Eden, or not Eden, no, that's not her name. What is it? Enid. Way different. Enid. If that's how it's pronounced. I don't remember. I'm not sure. I'd have to check again. But, what was I saying about her? She's from the outside, like Carl. But, she doesn't talk much. She seems suspicious. I'm not sure if she even has any family here, or if she's just by herself. I'm pretty sure she is by herself. So, I don't think they would trust her as much as Carl is a lot more open, a lot more, definitely not normal, but he's open to talking about what he went through in a normal way. Like even his mom and stuff. And that's what they brought up in the interview. It's like, I killed my mom. I was the only one who could do it. And I believe that that's the thing. Like, Carl's going to teach the kids survival and everything like that, while Abraham and Rosita are teaching the adults a different kind of survival. Like, just different tiers of survival, essentially. I think that could be interesting. I think that's definitely a possibility. Sasha, I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. I cannot come up with anything besides, like, guard, like, the gate and stuff. But I feel like they're going for more character-based things in all this, instead of, like, obviously. Now, Abraham giving them training and everything like that, I'm not sure if that would be good character-wise. Would it be okay to just be like, alright, Abraham, now you have another mission? Like, I don't know if that's where we're going with his character, right? I feel like we're also doing a Speedy Rick, but more military man. Like, I think he's also going to have something that's relaxing. I think construction would fit nice for him. But, I mean, like, the only thing I think is if, like, Rick was looking at the walls outside, maybe they're going to beef him up even more. And one of the big things that they said was, Northern Virginia is evacuated. So there's not many zombies at all, not many groups at all. But there's definitely going to be a herd that comes through at some point. And that's going to be the big thing, right? I mean, that's why you can't... It's an inherent built-in device in the Walking Dead universe across all mediums that you can't stay in one place. It is impossible because there exists this entity, this herd that is so big that nothing can withstand it. It like, just by nature, they almost just bulldoze everything in their path. And now that might be what this arc is about, of like dealing with a big ass herd. I would love if that's the case. I don't know how you could possibly do that. Like, the amount of zombies they would need on screen would be insane. I can't imagine it. So, I really think a herd is, like, they could do it. They could do it. Like, when I'm thinking Walking Dead doesn't have a huge budget, it's a pretty low budget-ish kind of show. Comparatively, I mean, obviously. But nevertheless, all that aside, that could definitely be what this is about. Not trying to metagame it, thinking about would they spend the money on the blah, not trying to metagame that. That would be cool if this is about not this season for certain, and who knows how long we're gonna stay here. I hope not for a long time, or depending on how they keep it interesting. If it's like this group going to war against another group, down for that, sure. But like, I don't want it to turn into more season 2 drama stuff. Season 2 was good. I like season 2. It had my boy James Al McEwen in it. But it was a little slow. It did have a lot of just like drama that I didn't care about. And namely, like, the Rick in this romantic relationship with this girl, I don't care about this girl. We didn't even get her name yet. And she is almost certainly gonna die. But... Oh, or I should be doing... I always forget to do it. My who is gonna die next thing. I'm doing this starting now. Okay, I'm gonna make a guess as to what named character is going to die next. Other characters can die as long as they're not named. But if a named character besides the one I guess counts, then it's wrong. You know, whatever. So the way this is gonna work, I can guess a character. I cannot change my guess in the middle of an episode, but I can change my guess after an episode. So I can change my guess at any time, but only after an episode or before an episode. Just never during an episode, because obviously things might change in an episode to make it very obvious that a character is going to die. So my guess right now, it might honestly be Rick's wife. His love interest, I mean to say. Jesus. But who else could it be other than that? It could be the one dude, Aiden. Could be Aiden. I would love it if I hope it's Aiden. I kind of really hope it's Aiden, but I feel like he's going to be around for quite a bit. I'm going to go and say, yes, Rick's love interest. I think she's going to die, and I think that's also going to be their way in the show, trying to kick off some stuff with maybe some emotional shit, too. I can't imagine being emotionally invested in that if that happens, but, hey, you never know. You never know. But that's my guess. So, Rick's love interest, who we don't even have a name for, so it's weird calling her a named character. We don't have a name for her yet. As far as I could tell, I didn't find it in the episode at all. But yeah, that's my guess. Already breaking my rules of named characters, but she's important enough. Okay, so, my notes about the actual episode. Very beginning, I hope that what she says about transparency is true, that they are a very transparent group. I hope so, and it seems like that, especially at the end with her speech about them all being equal and stuff like that. So, I really like Deanna just in general. As a character, already in love with her, super like Madam Director vibes from GTO. Like, I get the feeling that this is like, you know, it's the super old woman who has gone through a lot, and she's a very by the books-ish kind of woman at first glance, but really she is extremely trusting and knows, like, you know, is really good at reading people and being like, this is the person who can lead this group to a better, you know, a better something in different terms with different mediums I'm talking about. But, yeah, I really dig her, and I completely 100% trust her. Whether I trust all of Alexandria or not, certainly not. I got something to say. But as far as Deanna goes, absolutely full trust. Absolutely love her. Already in love with her. Oh yeah, with her line, sounds like I'd want to be a part of your family. That line is so good. The delivery is so amazing. It hit me so hard on a second, like, watching of that. She executed 3 men. We're definitely gonna get to that later. That is that's some foreshadowing. Something's gonna happen there. Whether they come back or we just learn why. You know, it doesn't have to be that they're coming back, but that's definitely coming back in some way. Yeah. So the big thing about this episode and about like this arc in general, I think, and I'm absolutely right, and this is foreshadowing what's gonna happen again. They took her guns. They took her guns. They took our fucking guns. Like that, it is weird to. I don't even know how to you know. I don't want to get into this as a big thing. I am definitely pro gun, but you know, this is a much different circumstance in the apocalypse and everything like that. It is less about the fact that they're taking away the guns from them specifically. As I said, they're still your guns and everything like that. But it is way more of a, like, you know, like I brought up, just because they're inside the walls doesn't mean they're safe. And I think that's a big theme about this arc in general, is Alexandria not realizing that just because they're inside the walls, that, you know, everything is okay. We don't need the guns. If something goes wrong, then we can just fix it easy peasy. It's not going to be a fucking catastrophe, which is not true. So much could fucking, I mean, like, literally, what if a fucking, like, gas line erupts, explodes, a house catches fire, now the neighborhood's on fire, the zombies around are seeing, they hear the explosion, they see the fire and the smoke, and they're coming through the walls, you know, anything, like I said, somebody dies, it wakes up, becomes a zombie. There is, yeah, there's so much. Like, another thing I have in here, Aaron is a fucking serial killer, okay? I don't know what it is about him, but he creeps me the fuck out. I don't like Aaron. He's a serial killer. I'm calling it. And that could also happen. He's gonna fucking kill somebody. He's been inside the walls. He's ignorant. He doesn't know if I kill him, they're gonna come back as a zombie. To come back as a zombie, this shit happens. Just because they're inside the walls doesn't mean they're safe. So I think this is a huge problem of taking away the guns. And I feel like that's a pivotal thing about this arc, which I'm interested in because, you know, I am pro-gun, so I'm interested in, like, the post-apocalyptic stance on it, you know. What else do I have here? The room in the attic that Carl saw. I'm not sure if it was the attic. It was just like a room. It looked kind of attic-y. But, yeah, it had the rope going out of the window for some fucking reason. That was their house, right? Am I wrong about that? I might have to go rewatch that scene again. Because I thought that was their house, but I'm just realizing that could have been Ron's house. In which case that Enid might live there, and that might have been Enid's room. But no, because it was... He found that in their house and brought it to them, right? Right? Yeah, I think so. So, does Enid, like, go in that house and hang out from time to time for some reason? I'm not sure. Also, so, the whole, like, kids going out in the apocalyptic world to have fun and adventure. I know a lot of people had a problem with that in season 2 with Carl, but, like, I mean, come on. Have you guys never been kids? Like, I would absolutely do the same thing. I don't find any fault in Carl for going out and doing that in season 2, or Enid for doing it now. Like, they're kids. They, even if they understand the danger, they want the adventure, and they are thrill seekers, you know? They're teens, man. They don't fucking care. They just want excitement. They don't fucking matter what the danger is. You've never been a fucking teen? Like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of flack about that because that's one of the main things I remember about season 2 is how much flack people were giving the whole Carl stuff, which I thought was really well done in season 2. But nevertheless, that's my preemptive whatever. Oh yeah, Michonne in her interview having the Crime and Punishment book. Kind of beating you over the head. Like, I don't remember her being about that at all before. But, sure. I could be wrong. I could just be not remembering. They have school here. That's cool. I mean, I talked about the teachers and everything, but yeah, they have school here. That is dope. And, I have it all caps. Coat Rick is back. Coat Rick. We got the Coat Rick. Oh, I'm so fucking excited. It's so iconic. It's such a good fucking coat. Like, there's very few series that have a main character that, like, is known for, like, a big, fluffy, like, bulky-ass coat. Like, Kaiji as well. Like, The Road, you know. I feel like a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff, I guess, does. But, I don't know. There's just something about the aesthetic of that, like, big jacket with the fluffy-ass collar. Oh, it looks so badass. And just seeing him in his uniform in general again is fucking badass. I guess you get the best of both worlds there, because that is the uniform in the comics, if I remember correctly, right? The coat that he's wearing in this episode is also his uniform. It's like his police uniform is the fluffy coat. Anyway. Oh yeah, and it took the gun, definitely, 100%, absolutely, calling that, no doubt about it. The very end shot there where, like, everybody's gathered around the gate and it was the whole thing after, Glenn and them, right? Right, yeah, it was after Glenn and then Rick coming back with Carl and all that, too. And yeah, so everyone's around there, the tensions are all heated, and, Deanna is so tiny. She's, like, the smallest character in the entire show. She's so short. So tiny. But I think that's incredible because that shot is so impactful with all these big, powerful men and scary women too. Plenty of them, like just standing around here terrifyingly. But she holds the most power. She is still the one in charge here. Like, she really commands a room. But, saying that though, what could possibly go wrong making two people from the outside group your only two sheriffs? It's almost like they're gonna take over your fucking place. Which Rick almost spelled out for her. He's like, don't open these gates. You do, somebody's gonna come in, they're gonna play on your niceness, and they're gonna use you. And that's exactly what they're fucking doing. What? You know what? That's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. That's all I got. I'll see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.